LoveLine.
LoveLine is meant for an adult audience. LoveLine may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. This is LoveLine. LoveLine. With Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam, that's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Dr. Drew is not in studio tonight. Dr. Drew is in New York. Why, Engineer Chris?
Yes.
He's running back to his mic.
Oh, that's good.
Sorry, man.
Engineer Chris is one of those guys where I think he's cursed.
Yeah.
Drew.
Listening.
You ever think about this concept that some people, you know how you're always wrong when you jump in and complete someone's sentence?
Yeah.
And it's more than a coin toss?
Yeah.
I mean, you're at about 90%.
Yeah.
There's some people that have that in their life.
Yeah.
I think they used to call it the curse. I think Chris has the curse. I told Engineer Chris, I said, get ready with your microphone because I'm coming to you. And so I was going to say, Dr. Drew's in New York tonight. Why, Chris?
Somebody dropped a nickel.
Yeah, I was going to say that. But 10 seconds after I said, get ready with your microphone, I said, boy, it's pretty light in here. And Chris then walked around and was standing at the lights when I pointed at the mic.
Nice.
But look, he's working. He's a new broom. He's sweeping clean.
Right.
Drew, what's up with you?
I just had to pick up a nickel. You know, it's interesting.
What are you there shilling for?
I'm working with Trojan, and I'm working.
Trojan?
Trojan company.
I thought you were working with another company.
I am working with another company too. Whenever I come to New York, people pile on, you know. But
Yeah.
it is interesting. I was doing
What's the other company?
The other company is a drug company that makes a vaginal estrogen tablet.
The ass lube suppository.
And this is the vaginal lube suppository, vaginal atrophy treatment. It's very interesting stuff. I mean, here's the deal. You
get old, you start drying up down there, right?
Exactly. And
you becomes like one of those pig's ears your dog chews on.
Exactly. Brittle and painful and difficult to enter.
Leathery.
And if you don't take these estrogens, now we don't use systemic estrogens anymore. We don't give women hormone replacement therapy so much.
I mean, the ones you eat.
Right. So now we got to put something directly in and on the vagina to correct all that. Or else people stop having sex. See?
What is the difference, Drew, and as a man of passion, I know that's not an option for you, even as you get into your golden years.
No. Golden.
Let me say this. We used to, when women got past menopause, we would give them estrogen, right?
Right.
And now we figured out that that's not a good thing?
Well, they're just sort of, we're working it out. I still think it is a good thing, but they're certainly not using it to protect against heart disease and strokes anymore.
But they're ingesting estrogen, and the estrogen will have the same effect sort of topically if it's absorbed in a certain area for that specific area?
Yes, exactly. Isn't that interesting?
But does it have to be a mucosal surface? Like, what if I put estrogen on my elbow? Would I grow a boob?
You would not, but there are delivery systems that'll get through the skin, right? That's why we have estrogen, birth control patches now.
Right.
That's hormone going through the skin. But they don't really have, there are rings you can put inside the vagina, and there are tablets, and there's a cream you can put in there.
What about for men? What about some sort of steroids or something? Couldn't you just rub that on your bicep or on your joint or something and not take it?
No.
Why not? They're different?
Different. And again, to get enough levels to have effect on muscle, it goes everywhere.
Right.
What I'm saying?
I see. Right.
Yeah, you can get mucosa moistened up with a little estrogen, but you can't get a muscle enlarged with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more of a skin or surface thing.
Speaking of uncomfortable topics, I had to go to the doctor's office and drop a little semen sample.
Finally.
Today. Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. Well, no, I have, what I think is powerhouse semen.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about, first off, no one's semen finishes like mine. Great finish. Great bouquet.
Good, nice bouquet. I noticed that, yes.
It's a nutty, woody, oaky kind of flavor. It's assertive without being pushy. Here's the point, Drew.
Yeah.
How long can semen travel?
Explain how can it travel?
If you dropped a sample, if you blasted a sample into a cup and snapped the lid on it, could you get across town with it?
Yes.
Right. Like
Yeah.
how long would you say?
I think you can go for a couple hours.
Couple hours, of
Yeah.
course. Of course, let me tell you the problem in life. I'll tell you the problem in life. The problem in life is we have a bunch of a-hole lawyers and a bunch of pussies. And what they basically do, and Drew, you do this yourself on occasion, they just give worst case scenario. And then those people take it literally, and then they start screwing up smart people's schedule like myself, which is the doctor says to my wife, it's going to last 20 minutes.
Oh.
So how far do you live?
You want to get the optimal and they want the best possible.
But here's the thing. How far do you live? Well, the doctor's office is like in Encino or something. How far do you live? Well, I live about 22 minutes away. Okay, so that gets translated into Adam, you got to beat off in the hallway at the doctor's office. Now, I'm a right-thinking person. I'm like, look, if he told you 20 minutes, that means somewhere under an hour. Don't worry. I know doctor speak. Believe me, this stuff's going to be just as tapiocaing an hour from now as it is 20 minutes from now.
Nice.
But the point is now I'm in there trying to peel one off. And let me tell you something about beating off in a doctor's office. How about a little solitude for the man when he's trying to focus? You're hearing the nurses chatting their ass off in the reception thing. They're laughing. The phone's ringing. It's crazy. Thank God I have my ninja-like masturbation focus.
Well, I'll tell you what. In the fertility clinics, usually they have little jack rooms. Well, you go and watch videos and produce. You line up with your buddies. You line up. That's right.
Yeah, but how far is the jack room off of the main room?
It's pretty far off. It's out by the jack lab. It's by the semen lab.
I got to get out to the jack lab. How do I get to the jack lab? To the jack pole? To the jack pole.
You know what's interesting?
Drew.
I got to tell you. Wait, let me. I'm going to switch topics a little bit on you quickly. Is that I was doing these some morning radio zoos this morning. It is uncanny how many of them sound like you doing Ace from Cola. It's amazing. Drop trow. but they're not the young guy version of that. They're sort of the 50-year-old guy version of that. A lot of that.
All right. Well, good. See, Drew, now you appreciate me.
I do.
So then it's weird because they bring you into the smacking room and they ask you, hey, you want to look at a movie or you need a Playboy or something? And to me, I got too much pride. You know what I mean? That's like when you're at the gym and some guy's like, you need a spot? You're like, no, I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. You don't want to look like you're not the ninja-like producer that you are.
Plus, here's the thing about this place. The entire office is 300 square feet. The room you go into is a huge hollow core door with about a undercut about an inch. You can see the guy's shoes poking through, and it's right where the reception is. Like you literally just hear the conversations that people are having. And there's 3 people just watching you go right in. What are you gonna do? Fire up a movie? They're gonna hear like Seika screaming through the hollow core door.
Seika, oh my God.
Oh, they're old school.
Oh, my God.
Do you realize I'm literally beating off 4.5 feet from where 3 women are all just standing around chatting?
Well, that's not unusual for you. Let's be fair.
Every syllable from every conversation.
Come on.
All right. I just want my dignity.
Beat off right next to women before.
I just want my dignity, Drew.
All right.
So you say sperm travels for about 2 hours.
I think you'd probably. I mean, but they want to get the best case scenario. I mean, let's face it. Come on.
All right. All right, I got some good calls here, Drew.
All right, let's go.
Oh, yeah. All right. Devin.
Hi, how are you?
What's happening, baby doll? 26?
26. I'm 19.
Very good.
Well, it says 26 up here.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your question?
I had a couple of questions, but the first one is I am a squirter when I orgasm.
Yes. Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Every time? Every time?
Yes, every time. And that's actually my question. I want to know how to make it not happen. Because it gets kind of...
I don't know if there is an answer to that. The fact is, I know. I know you heard that.
Move your mic thing around. Just move it around freely so people can hear what that sounds like. Anyone want to give that a shot at WD goddamn 40? I was in the same studio that Drew was in 2 weeks ago, and I was scared to even get near the mic because it was haunted. The thing about radio stations is it's really the one place in the entire planet where you can't have stuff that does a ton of squeaking and rubbing and metal on metal sound and springs popping and all that. There's more of that going on in radio stations than any other building. They
pay no attention to that.
Drew,
zero.
Push the mic all the way up and then pull it back down toward you. Drew, is there a noise here? Drew, yes or no?
Comical.
Yes. Does a bassoon make as much noise as that thing?
I mean, I'm firing up a cruise liner. Look at this. Listen to that.
I know. It does. It's like a novel. It's a novelty. It's like a Foley artist would use it if you're doing a movie about a haunted house.
I mean, that is just me moving the mic. Seriously.
Believe me, I sat in there for 2 days 2 weeks ago, and I was scared to even touch the microphone because every time I did.
I think I can do an octet on this thing. Beethoven, here it is.
I know, awesome. Now, you know how you would correct that, Drew?
Not moving it.
No.
A little WD-40.
4 cents worth of WD-40.
Yeah. I think if I hocked on this thing, it'd be 100% better.
Please put some sputum on there. Please. All right.
It's comical. All right, listen, back to the litter
Devin.
need.
Yeah.
Devin, here's the deal. There are women that do this, Devin, and women that don't. Women that do it sometimes, women that do it every time. And there's really no way to convert from one to the other. I don't know of any way that you can stop this other than maybe trying to do a little Kegel exercise. And is it always when you're having intercourse that this happens?
Yeah.
So it's not with oral sex?
I can't oral.
Are you multiply orgasmic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why do you want to stop? It's a talent. It's a mitzvah.
The sheets, or else we'll be sleeping in a puddle. I have to change the sheets.
This isn't urine, is it?
No.
You sure? Because the urine problem actually can be corrected.
How about you put a sack of kitty litter down there just to kind of wick it up?
How about just a big old towel or just kind of, prepare for it?
We do. We always have to keep a towel nearby. And my boyfriend doesn't like being on the bottom because it gets him soaked. He won't be on the bottom.
40 nights. Yeah.
First thing.
2 by 2.
Here's the thing.
Does that song go about Noah?
It's God, and he saw by Tuesday. The animals that came by Tuesday. Big giraffes and kangaroos. Children of the Lord. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
all
what
right.
have we turned into here? Come
on. A lot of retarded religious songs had to be sung when I was
I want to play
young.
a little cello.
Thank you.
Back that up.
Here's the dealio. See, Drew, you always talk about this like, oh, this is awesome. Guys going to be into this.
No, I they get tired after a while. I'm just saying it's something that women are ashamed of, and it's sad that they're ashamed of it.
Well, I think I think there's a difference between self-conscious and ashamed. I don't think she was really ashamed of it. I think it was just one of these things where too much of a good thing. Cool and everything if you're making a porn film or you're with a dude on your honeymoon. But, year 3 into the relationship, it's getting a little old every time.
Yeah.
And she's trying to figure out a way she can control it. And I don't know, other than your Kegel exercises, if there's any way you could do that.
Right. And maybe try different positions, ways that sort of don't. But it sounds like she's going that way each time. And it's a talent. It's a mitzvah. It's come on.
It is, but every time
she's multi-orgasmic. Yeah, but she's multi-orgasmic with intercourse that's so far ahead of her. She's such a talent compared to her peers.
She's way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Way ahead of the game. But still, you got to do that thing where every time you want to get it on, you got to put something down.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Here's a very interesting question. Emily?
Yeah.
What's up, baby doll? You're 13.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know what it's called, but it's like the flaps,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The flaps?
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Mm-hmm. The flaps, Drew.
The flaps.
Hello? Can you hear me?
You mean the vaginal, the internal vaginal...
The ones that have Yosemite Sam saying back off on them?
The flaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flaps. Mm-hmm.
Well, one's longer, and I don't know why.
That's very common. It's normal to have some degree of asymmetry, one side different than the other side. There actually are some surgical procedures that some women elect to have to correct that asymmetry. The most interesting one I've seen is actually a laser surgery for that. It's sort of bloodless. It just very quickly handles that problem.
Is it bloodless because it sort of cauterizes the thing as it goes?
Exactly.
It burns it, seals it shut.
Yes.
Hey, Emily.
Yeah.
What would you say the one that hangs down, how much further does it hang down?
Maybe like an inch.
Now, an inch is pretty substantial. Is it thicker than your finger, the amount it hangs down?
No. Well, yeah, maybe it's like the same.
Okay, so it's more like half an inch.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. Drew, there should be a class for all young girls called How Far Is This Goddamn Thing Away? You know what I mean? Just spatial things.
How far is this GD thing away?
How far is this GD thing away? But I swear to God, there's not a woman I know that knows the difference between like a nautical mile and 18 feet. That's why they can't park. That's why you ever get behind that chick who's turning right and doesn't think she can make it between the curb and the car that's parked in the next lane, even though there's 4 feet on each side of her.
Yes,
has no concept that her car is 5.5 feet wide and she's trying to push it through a 13-foot area. Right. Zero.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, my wife thought one sheet of 4x8 plywood would cover the swimming pool once.
I remember that.
It's
for a
not
party.
only,
we were going to dance on it.
I know. It borders on retardation, Drew, and it's why I don't blame them. Obviously, there's some part of their brain that was never developed. There's some part of distance judging you need to hunt or to screw or something. You got to figure out how far to throw the rock.
That is actually right, to shoot the arrow, whatever. That's actually what some of the researchers believe. Not only in distances, but also directionality. That men can find their way through, with direction easier than women, or more accurately. They sort of know where north and south is all the time.
Right. I don't know a woman that
something's
really
wrong
knows.
with me that I don't. I do not.
I don't know a woman knows the difference between like 3 centimeters and 130 yards.
Right.
And you know what else? You know how guys get their spatial stuff? We stare at football fields and baseball diamonds our whole life. It's like first base. You know how far 90 feet is because first base is 90 feet away from home plate.
Right. That, and we live it. We experience it all the time.
Yeah, up. And if you're by watching a gazillion football games, 10 yards, 30 feet, you know what it's going to take. You can always see everything's yards. Women don't have any yards. They need yards. All right, so the point is 1 inch is too much because that would be almost sort of freakish. Mm-hmm. But half inch is still fairly substantial, Emily.
Mm-hmm. Well,
all right, so
it is an inch, I think.
All right, whatever.
Did you measure it?
No.
Listen, things will change as you go through, as you mature. Just give it some time. Relax.
It ain't no
Not
big
a big
thing.
deal. Not a big thing at all.
Guys don't care about that.
That's right.
Are you worried about what guys might think one day?
Exactly, yeah.
No. Relax.
No.
Okay.
They don't care. But look, a guy.
Like, why?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, God is a vengeful God. Number one. Who knows? Why are some people's eyes different colors? Why some people have a bigger ear, or some people have the earlobe that hangs down, and others are earlobes are attached?
Complete symmetry is rare. Total perfect symmetry is actually unusual.
Right. Only me and Morgan Fairchild have it.
That's right. Strangely enough, that's exactly what I was going to say.
And it's not because You
masturbate?
Yeah.
No. It's nothing to do with that. That's good. That's fine. Relax.
All right.
It's all
and
good.
Here's the other thing too. Everybody. I've figured it out. I've figured life out.
I'm ready. Here we go. And go.
Here it is. You can't affect anything in a negative or positive way. That's the truth that no one ever tells you about. Meaning
about your body.
Yes, your excessive masturbation isn't going to change the shape of your penis or your vagina. And on the other hand is all the running in the world isn't going to change the shape of your calves.
Right.
It's sad, but it's true.
That's right.
Okay. So why do anything? That's my point. And now that masturbation's not going to hurt, pow.
Okay.
Boy, I squeezed one off today, Drew, at the office, but I feel like I was raped.
You're dirty.
Dirty.
Yeah.
And I feel like I now owe myself a good one. You know what I mean? You know, it was equivalent.
Well, enjoy, Adam. Please, thank you for sharing, and just enjoy.
Well, it was equivalent of you ever eating a piece of pie or piece of dessert, and the phone rings, and you start talking, you start arguing with someone, and then you look down, and you realize you ate the entire piece of pie, and you don't even remember it because you're arguing, and you're like, fantastic. I'm robbed. I feel raped now. Yeah. That's how I feel with my masturbation.
Yeah, I can't blame you. What are you going to do?
I'll be back, though.
Oh, you've announced that.
That's the mark of a great champion. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe everything happens for a reason, Drew.
Takes all kinds.
And it takes all kinds. All right, let's talk to John. John?
Yeah.
You had surgery on your ball sack?
I did.
And it still hurts?
It does.
Hold on a second. Hold on. We got to take a break. I'm going to try to get out on time tonight, Drew. What do you say, buddy?
I'm up for it. I'm shocked.
All right. Dr. Drew is in New York City. Why, Engineer Chris?
Somebody dropped a nickel.
I think it's funnier if you say because somebody dropped a nickel.
It's more complete.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's try it again.
Yes.
All right. Dr. Drew.
But it's also, by the way, the longest sentence I've ever heard Chris iterate. So here we go.
I know. But he's good at this one.
Yeah.
Dr. Drew in New York City. Why, Engineer Chris?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
Yeah.
Complete sentence. That's my son. That's my boy.
Yeah.
I feel sort of proud.
Solid C+, buddy. And Engineer Chris may be graduating junior college.
No.
Although we're heading into late May, and he's not sure yet. So I'm going to take that as a big no.
I haven't seen my counselor yet. Sorry.
Oh. But when's the semester end?
June 11th.
June 11th?
Yeah.
So you got about 4 weeks left?
Is your counselor is your counselor the guy I saw you the Pat Morita guy? No?
At Starbucks like a year ago. No. I have to see a school counselor.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, always remember, you take advice from those guys, but those guys are bigger flunkies than you or I could ever hope to be.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Drew.
Yeah.
Junior college counselors?
Yeah.
So, junior college counselors like a fat guy who runs a weight loss clinic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, really, how much can you listen to the guy?
Yeah.
Really? Taking his advice?
He's not too much advice, but he's telling you the ropes. We give you
all right.
You have to tell them what you want. You know?
All right. He's talking about Atkins while he's eating a giant hoagie with mayonnaise dripping off it.
Nice.
All right, let's take ourselves a little break. We'll be right back with John and his ball sack after this.
LoveLine will be right back. So get your problems ready.
This portion of LoveLine is sponsored in part by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Safety belt enforcement is not about tickets, it's about saving lives.
Yeah! Woo!
Oh,
Tell you what, gotta get it on. It's getting dangerously close to finger popping time, Drew.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
Let's see if you remember from last night. Adam.
Corolla.
Adam's
masturbating on the park by the jacuzzi. Right? Yeah.
See, I got a plan, everybody. I want to replace Marco Polo with Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
I think it could go too. I reckon there's more school age pool age kids that know my name than Marco Polo's. That's what I'm going to say.
Well, that's right.
And maybe they've heard of Marco Polo, but only from the game. They don't know what he did. They don't know what a brave man he was because he wasn't scared, right, Drew?
Well, that's what we discovered last night.
Yeah.
Based on that fourth grade rendition of his history.
Engineer Chris pulls stuff translated from crayon by retards and gives it to me. All right. You ready to rock here, Drew?
Let's go.
Dr. Drew, by the way, in New York City tonight. Why, Engineer Chris?
Somebody dropped a nickel.
No, see, I knew we'd forget the because. Okay. Remember the because?
Sorry, man.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Dr. Drew in New York City tonight. Why is he in New York?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
That's right, buddy. That's going on your reel, too. John?
Hello?
John?
How's it going, buddy?
You're 20. What's up?
Well, on April 13th, I had surgery on my boys.
Mm-hmm.
And
both of them?
On one.
One of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The right one. It had a spermatocyl. And I had it on the 13th. But
Spermatocyl. Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Well, it's not called a Smurf-mathicil, if that's true.
Well, you're the doctor. I don't know.
All right, good. Here we go.
Go ahead.
And so, but the doctor said it would be quit hurting in about 3 weeks, but now it only hurts when I get an erection. And now I don't know if that's normal or what, but I guess you're the guy to talk to. So
How long ago was the surgery?
Do it on the 13th of April.
So about a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll go all the way to normal. Why did they operate in this? They usually don't.
Well, see, that's what he said the first time. Then I went back and he said that this could be problematic in my future because I'd like to have kids, and so they decided to take it out.
That's interesting. And now they really don't do that now. They tend not to operate on those. Maybe was it real big?
Well, that's nice to hear, by the way, that they removed one of your nuts unnecessarily.
On the ultrasound, it says about 1.5 inches.
That's still pretty small, but okay. Anyways, that's fine. It's out. It's done. That's the end of it.
All right. By the way, every woman listening pictured one of those giant workout balls that you roll on at the gym.
When you said 1.5 inches across.
Yes. They all pictured something you couldn't carry in your car.
Oh, my.
Yeah, because they don't know size. Really, it's got to be a class for that, Drew.
Yeah. I'm not sure it'll work.
I'll tell you how it works. You just stare at a tape measure.
Yeah, like what you did as a carpenter. But see, you as a carpenter, it sort of sunk in. It doesn't have to sink. You know, our brain will only take on what it's designed to take on. You know what I'm saying? If we're not wired to take on certain information, it's very hard to get it in.
I'm going to put that to the test right now. Dr. Drew is in New York City tonight. Why, Engineer Chris?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
See, he said because.
But he's set up for that. He can do it.
Yeah. Talk about wiring to take on. Nice job, buddy. I wish I had a treat I could throw on.
Thanks, man. No, I'm not a dog.
Drew, do we have any engineer treats? I would immediately throw. I need some sort of bait bucket on my belt that I could just keep tossing you something. It'd be like
Snuffles. Sniffles.
Yeah, it's that dog that loves sausages. Yeah, no, I know. There was that cartoon dog that would fly up and go to heaven every time he had a liver snap. Diana?
Strangely, that was on Quick Draw McGraw.
Yes.
Bunch of animals. What? Okay, anyway.
Diana?
Adam.
Corolla.
Okay, I just had to do that before we started. I'm sorry.
It could catch on. Diana, do you have a pool?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, this conversation is terminated. I'm only interested in people that can sort of perpetuate the Adam Corolla.
Hey, her friends could have a pool.
Ooh. Diana.
Yes.
Do you know anyone who has a pool?
Yes, I do, in fact.
Okay, good.
So, if you want to come and use that one, sure.
Well, I don't need to actually show up, but if you could use this summer when you guys are playing what used to be called Marco Polo.
Sure, not a problem. I can do that.
The Adam Corolla thing, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, they all listen to LoveLine anyway. So
well, let's see if I can play it by the pool. Diana, go ahead, baby doll. Okay,
first of all, I'll give you a little bit of background information, but not too much because I know you like to know what the question is. When I was younger, I was molested by my father, so you don't have to ask where Daddy is.
Beautiful.
And, yeah, well, went to therapy, went to court, went back to therapy, and it's all good now.
Good. Good.
So, yeah, I'm 18, and because of the whole thing with my dad, my mom read all the books, followed all the instructions. She was very strict. She watched my interactions with just males in general just because she wanted to make sure, because she read, as you've often said, that we either get like asexual or extremely promiscuous.
Right. Good for your mom.
Right. Oh, yeah, no, I have an awesome mom.
Yeah.
Well, you just to put a finer point on it, you get both. You get hypersexual.
You go back and forth.
And then I run into you when you're like 28 and a half.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what happened because, I was afraid to even masturbate until I was 17 and out of my parents' house.
Right.
But anyway, I lost my virginity this weekend to a buddy of mine, but I'm 18 and he's 23.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know if that was a decent age range or a borderline age range.
Decent. It's some fine. No problem with that one.
Okay.
If you were 17, it would bother us a little bit if you were 17. It's a little bit. I bet you it feels funny for him because really you're sort of just out of high school and he's sort of into the workforce or graduate school, that kind of thing.
Well, he felt really bad about it at first. Like he was really into it, but then like after the first time, he was like, "Oh my God, what have I done? I feel like a child molester." I was like, "No, I'm 18. I'm an adult."
How many more times did he bang you after that?
10.
10 times.
Men are great.
Well, over.
But hold on, he did it with a heavy heart.
Yeah. His head hung low.
That's the beauty of guys. He banged her the first time, and he had trouble looking at himself in the mirror. He really did. So he only banged her 10 more times. Oh. Imagine if he didn't feel bad. He would have put a hole in her.
Oh.
Don't you love guys?
Oh, yeah. I know, man.
Let me tell you how long you feel bad for. Whatever your refractory period is. That's how long you feel bad for. If your refractory period is 30 seconds, you feel bad for 30 seconds. If it's 8 hours, you feel bad for 8 hours.
Oh, my God. Yeah,
that's how
I wish that weren't true, but that's true.
It's so true. It's only 10 more times.
Over the course of 48 hours, okay? It was like...
Obviously, he was struggling with this. Obviously.
Stricken. He was stricken. Yeah.
Stricken.
Yes, he was.
Stricken. Did a lot of soul searching while he was banging you, probably the 7th through 10th time. A lot of soul searching.
Okay.
All right, he dug deep, Drew.
Anyway.
I see that.
Yeah, so a couple of questions. This probably sounds really dumb, like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I don't. I feel kind of sore. Is that normal?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Particularly since you've done it 10 times in a 24-hour period.
11, actually.
11, whatever.
48 hours. 48 hours, 2 days.
Yeah, the vagina is not meant to withstand all that, unfortunately. Many vaginas are not.
Well, and the other thing, the next question is, after the first 2 times, I bled, like, a lot, and it scared the hell out of me. So, is that normal? Or not?
And more than not, that's probably... Were you near your period?
No.
I bet that's really what made him step back and really assess things before he moved up and banged you.
Right, that's when he was feeling stricken again. Oh, my God, I've broken her. Let's get to it.
I love this guy. All right, and this is a friend of yours?
Yeah, I think he kind of did it as a favor.
Let me tell you something, Favor. Favor is I go down on you for one Beatles song, and then I'm out of here.
Oh, my.
That's a favorite. That's a favor.
I don't think he would have gotten much out of it. I mean, seriously, it's not like I knew what I was doing.
Listen, most guys would prefer the chick just be dead, quite frankly, and they could do what they will.
No, I wouldn't go for that. But
Christ.
Drew, no?
Many guys.
Not
most guys, many guys.
No, but listen, that whole she really knew what she was doing thing is more like we would replace that with hold still and trying to focus on number 11 here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
We would rather have clay than a sculpture to hump. You know, a finished product. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Clay to mold around our joint.
Yeah. Oh.
You know what I'm saying, Drew?
We're going too far. It's actually making me uncomfortable.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Diana?
Okay, all right. I'm trying to go through these kind of fast. I've also been itching just a little bit, but there's no discharge or anything like that. I don't know if that's maybe irritation from 11 condoms.
Yeah, probably. Yes.
Yeast infection or something like that.
It could be. Might get some over-the-counter yeast medication. If it persists, then you want to see your doctor about that. And you are sexually active now. Are you having yearly pap smears?
I'm actually getting one within the next couple of days.
Perfect.
All right. And your dad, is he in prison? Where is he?
No, they let him off.
Ooh.
But he was indicted. Like they sent it to the grand jury with a count of just sexual assault of a child, and the indictments came back with 2 counts, one of aggravated sexual assault through contact and aggravated sexual assault through exposure. So, I mean, there was evidence there. It just the prosecutor dropped the ball and pissed me off really bad.
And your mom was never abused?
No, she wasn't. She's lesbian, but she was never.
She was abused.
She was married to this guy for a while.
Baby, she was abused.
She was married to this guy for 5 years because her family ditched her in Oklahoma, and the only thing she could do to get a new family was marry somebody.
No, so she's a trauma survivor.
She was abused.
Yeah, all kinds of horrible things.
She's a survivor, though.
Yeah, we get that.
She was abused, baby doll. That's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. That's why she married this guy. That's why she's a lesbian. God bless you, though. You went to therapy. Your mom did what she could, and it seems like you're smart and you've come out on top. Although, man, you had a lot of love stored up for this guy. Go get that pap smear, and 11 condoms, Drew. This guy
good times.
That guy says like a landfill with his name in front of it.
Nice.
11. I don't think I've gone through 11 condoms in my life.
Yeah.
This guy went through. Yeah. You have to have
not without
sex.
a nap, anyway. Yeah.
This guy's had 11 condoms in a long weekend, and not even a long one. All right, let's see. Boyfriend won't make up sex. Yeah, got STD. Let's talk to Renee. Renee,
Hello?
22.
Yes.
What's up?
Well, my boyfriend he's kind of weird about sex. He, in a lot of ways, it seems like I'm the guy and he's the girl, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I wind up...
because you have the penis?
No. No.
Well, hold on a second. I don't know what then. I'm confused. Hold on a second, Drew.
All right. You're going to stop on time.
We got to take ourselves a break because
fantastic.
It's my new decree is for us to finish on time.
Beautiful.
I'm over here in Los Angeles. Drew is in New York City. Why, Engineer Chris?
Somebody dropped a nickel. I mean, because
like I said, the brain's got to be ready to receive this info.
The brain really does have to be ready
because
to.
Somebody dropped a nickel.
Let's get a clean one. I'll tell you what. Can we just put it on a cart? Can we get a nice clean, lay down something clean during the break? We'll put it on a cart and we'll just cue the cart.
Anderson's not there today.
You can't do it over here?
Nah.
Okay,
I could try.
No, I'm going to need you to get a clean one then.
Okay.
I'm over here in Los Angeles tonight. Dr. Drew is in New York City this evening. Why, Engineer Chris?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll be back with Renee, who may possibly have a penis after this.
Call Love 1-800-LOVE-191.
Can I get pregnant if I do it? You get addicted to aspirin?
Yeah. Tell you what. I'll tell you what. That's what. I'll tell you what. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. I'm Dr. Drew.
No, you're not.
I am Dr. Drew.
Okay.
I am Dr. Drew, and that's Dr. Drew, too. It's two Dr. Drews. Phone number. Fax number. We need your emails at. Dr. Drew is in New York City tonight. Why, Engineer Chris?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
Hold on. Why, Engineer Chris?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
Why?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
I didn't hear you the first time.
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
Come again?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
Speak up, son.
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
Yeah. Isn't technology awesome?
Beautiful.
Took him 27 takes during the break, and we were able to piece that together from 9 of them.
The whole 4 minutes, man.
Well,
I heard him doing it.
We didn't get a clean one, but we took 9 of them, and we just whacked them up together. We took a couple syllables from each one. Some we only took half a syllable. All right, but the point is it's all worth it. Why, Engineer Chris?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
All right. You ready to rock? I didn't want to talk to this guy, but his name is Marco. And as you know, I want to change the game Marco Polo to Adam Carolla. Marco?
Yeah.
You're going to have to change your name to Adam.
Adam?
Under my regime, yeah, because the Marco Polo game is going to be changed. From what, Drew?
Adam.
Carolla.
Adam.
Carolla.
Adam's masturbating in the jacuzzi.
See, that's fish out of water.
Fish out of water, see.
Marco?
Yes.
You're 19, and your girlfriend got an STD from a threesome they were in?
Yeah. It's worrying me a lot right now. What happened was, it was her idea. This happened this Friday. It's this girl is a friend, well, it's somebody we know, and so we didn't we didn't think any, like, we saw everything. She looked normal. And what happened was she's having kind of moist skin around the vaginal area. And she has...
Marco, you pre-med? Pre-med?
What?
Are you pre-med? You going to college?
Pre-med? What's pre-med?
Oh, boy.
Okay, fine.
Here we go.
When I hear vaginal area, I figure.
So, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, what happened is I just want to know. We don't know what it is. She hasn't gone to the doctor yet. She's a little worried. She still lives with her parents. She's 18, but
how did she get an STD and you escaped?
That's what we want to find. I just want to find out if I'm gonna get it too, or if I might have escaped. I haven't felt any symptoms yet.
And what is it again that describe what it is she's
moisture
seeing?
Around the vaginal area.
I don't know what the hell that means.
And it's sore. So we don't know what it can be.
Maybe it's just No, look. Okay, listen. You don't get off the internet. Take her to a doctor. Get this thing looked at while she's still having symptoms and findings. It may be the only thing that really can cause irritation on the outside like that is herpes. It may just be a yeast infection. It may just be excessive.
That's what we heard too. So I mean, it's hard because it's hard not to worry about it because it's I don't.
All right,
well, here's the deal: there's nothing you can do about it. You've got to take her to a doctor and have somebody look at it who can't. I can't even guess what you're describing because you don't know how to describe it in a way that makes sense to me.
Marco, did you have sex with her?
Yes.
Oh, what a gig! Well, what's up with your girlfriend? She must be nutty.
Well, we were drunk, and it didn't seem like a bad idea at the time. Of course, it does now. And
oh yeah, sure.
But yeah.
All right, listen. You got to take your girlfriend to the doctor. Just go to the free clinic, see what they say.
There's no telling what there's. Maybe nothing. Maybe just irritation from all the activity. God knows what you guys did.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, I know we're supposed to speak to Renee, who may have a penis.
What?
But, no, she doesn't. But I'm intrigued by George. George?
Hey, Adam. How's it going?
What's happening? You're 20?
Yeah. I just wanted to start off with Adam.
Corolla! Thanks, buddy.
My question is, I wanted to ask you and Dr. Drew what the role is in culture in making predictions about someone's future. For example, you say if a girl's father's not there when she's growing up, she's going to grow up to be this type of person, or if she's beaten up as a kid, she's going to grow up to be this type of person, right?
Not the type of person. It's more how they will, the way they'll experience themselves. In relationships.
What they're attracted to.
Right. What they'll be attracted in relationships, and it will speak volumes about how they regulate emotions. Yeah. It does have a lot to do with that.
There's an element of this kind of person, but it's mainly we can predict who they're going to end up with.
Right. But, who they're going to be attracted to.
My story is, I'm Asian, and growing up, I grew up in predominantly Asian American society, and growing up, if I did something wrong, like I busted the windshield or I shaved the cat, I would be beaten with a stick. And I'm 20 years old now, and I'm realizing maybe that's not the best way that I grew up, but I don't think I'm screwed up. You think it might? I've always taken it as a culture thing. If you do something wrong, you're taught a lesson.
No. What about the Asians? I know they're a disciplined culture, but I thought they just beat themselves. I didn't know.
Well, I think Asians. I actually believe that Asians are more resilient than Caucasians. Like they have a high degree of resiliency. But that's
how
notwithstanding
dare you, bro? I'm Caucasian.
I'm judging. Notwithstanding that,
Dad's a Caucasian. How could you say that about him?
Notwithstanding that, though, having somebody that you rely upon for your safety, making you feel powerless, will affect how your brain develops. And the thing that the result in is difficulty with emotional regulation. It will make you attracted to people that are a certain type of person. It will make you need high levels of arousal in sexual experiences. So you may need sort of fetishistic kinds of things. So it affects you. Now, does it destroy you? No, it doesn't necessarily destroy you. Does it make you likely to abuse your children? Yes, because you think that's how child rearing is supposed to be done, but it has a profound effect on the trajectory of your brain development. The idea of mental health is to have an integrated central nervous system, so you can regulate in a flexible and integrated way. Physical abuse tends to interrupt that development.
Okay. But
here's a trivia question. I don't know the answer to this one, but I have no idea what the answer is. But the black mamas seem to put the smackdown on their black kids quite a bit. and the Jews don't seem to do much beating on their kids. I don't know as far as the prison populace, how that goes with violent crime. I couldn't tell you if there's more Jews than blacks in prison or vice versa in there for violence. I just don't know the answer to that. But it'd be interesting to find out if there's any correlation. Yes, Drew?
Whatever you say, Mr. Frolla.
I don't know if there's any correlation. Again, I don't know what the populace is of violent criminals in the joint. I don't know if there's any connection between beating the crap out of your kids and them beating the crap out of society. But it'd be interesting for someone to look into one day, wouldn't it, Drew?
We got to do a study like that.
Well, it ought to be a study.
But you might have to judge.
I don't know, though. I don't have any answers. I couldn't tell. Right now, I'm leaning Jew. I figure there'd be more of them in there. But I'm not sure. So we'd have to look that up. Engineer Chris, maybe get on the internet, find that out. Yeah, but there's no judging involved. I'm just saying maybe a correlation between smacking your kids around and your kids smacking other people around when they get older. Possible correlation. Still, the jury's still out. Yes, Drew?
Yes, jury's out.
Mm-hmm. All right, so, George, you shaving the cat, not a great thing. Your parents beating you with a stick, not a great thing either. But you sound like you have your head together.
Well,
and
the beating thing also will give you sort of antisocial tendencies. You'll not trust people. You'll tend to resist authority, and it's not a great way to go through life.
But an interesting point, which is the Asian folks do seem to have a little more discipline or be able to tolerate discipline or somehow
more resilient.
There's something about the structure of the culture that keeps them in check a little more. And doesn't make them go sick, as my gay friends would say. Yes?
Yes, Adam.
All right, let's take a break. I'm over here in Los Angeles tonight. Drew is where, Engineer Chris, and why?
Oh, this is a reach, Adam. Come on now.
One.
Come on.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
That's a graduate school question.
We'll get that queued up. All right. That was a two-parter. That's too hard. You're right. We'll take a little break. We'll be right back after this.
All right, guys, here's the deal. Looking to hook up? Call the Dateline. Sick of wasting time with the wrong person? Call the Dateline. One call's all you need to make. Call the Dateline. 1-877-889-DATE.
If you need help,
call LoveLine. 1-800-LOVE-191.
Hey, y'all. LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Dr. Drew in New York City tonight. Why, Engineer Chris?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
How come?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
I didn't hear you.
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
One more?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
5 more real fast?
Because somebody dropped a nickel. 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 Because somebody dropped a nickel.
All right. You see? Talk about precision. He's on top of it.
I'm pretty fast.
Do that one again. Yeah.
Come on.
Engineer Chris. Now listen, kid, I told you I was going to put you on the air when I first met you 2 years ago.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, right. Here you go.
Okay. We're going to get back to the phones and speak to Renee, who's 22, who I started speaking to about an hour ago and then got bored with. Renee?
Hi.
Your boyfriend. You were saying that you feel like the man in the relationship.
In a lot of ways I do, especially sexually, because I feel like I'm the one who instigates things the most, and I feel like I'm the one who really tries to put him in the mood instead of the other way around. And
how often are you guys having sex?
Well, not as often anymore as we used to.
How often?
A couple times maybe a couple times a month now.
How long have you guys been going out for?
It'll be 6 months.
Is he on any medication or anything like that?
No, I'm on birth control, and...
No, he.
Oh, no, I don't... He takes allergy pills once in a while.
Yeah, that shouldn't do it, although it can occasionally, but that's pretty much bad time. 6 months into a relationship, and and it's already down to every couple times a month, right? Hold on, Em, I got to do something.
Drew dared to move his microphone holder in New York City. Yeah, I know, the thing's haunted. If it's down to a couple times a month and you've been in it for 6 months, how long has it been down a couple times a month? A couple months?
Well, actually, just recently. And, I mean, when we first...
Hold on. How does it do... okay, you know what I'm saying?
She doesn't understand what you're getting at.
There's a math problem.
Yes, I know.
Another good class for the ladies to take.
Huh?
Is there a noisier piece of equipment in the United States?
Here's what, like, if I try to go slowly, make it quiet, here's what I get.
Yeah. It's awesome because it's inside a radio studio. That's right. A shot of olive oil would fix that thing for the next 5 years.
I luged on it, didn't work.
But it'll never, ever happen. It's the beauty of radio. All right, Renee, here's what you need to do. You need to talk to him. You need to have a conversation with him and see what he has to say about it.
Is he done with this relationship, do you think?
I don't know.
Or do you think this is his normal rhythm, that just normally he's one of these guys that just doesn't have sex that often?
Well, recently I was trying to have sex with him, and I said, well, do you even want to? And he said, well, not really.
Whoa.
And I said, well, if you don't want to, you need to tell me instead of leading me on, because...
There's smoke coming out of your ears? Drew can't. Drew still is trying to digest that last sentence.
It's interesting. This thing I did for the Vagifem people today. This intravaginal. But listen,
Vagifem.
That's just the name for their tablet, their vaginal tablet. And
world's worst boxing nickname. Vagifem.
You're a Vagifem.
Hailing from the Boston area and fighting out of Nevada, Las Vegas, James Vagifem Tony. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah.
But we did a Harris poll on sort of how frequently people are having sex.
Harris is a weird thing to do for Vagifem because it sounds like hairy vag.
All right, dude. All right, come on. Are you high? You went out and smoked pot before you came back in.
Harris and Vagifem. Harris, you got the word pole, Harris, vag, and fem all in the same sentence.
That's awesome.
Come on, buddy. Go ahead. You did a poll.
And how frequently people had sex and how happy they were. And of course, people are having sex more, 1 or 2 times a week, where describe their relationship as happy and satisfying and all this stuff. But what I found interesting is there was like 10 or 20% that were sort of rarely having sex and still describe their relationship as satisfying. Not as satisfying as the frequency people, but they're like, yeah, we're fine. We never have, but it's all right. That is like, people are, you realize when you look at the data that people are all over the place with this. In reality, some people's, clocks are, ticking rapidly, and some are barely operating.
Well, Drew, you don't have to speak to the good folks at Vagifem or their Harry Paul to find that out, because as you know, I've been saying that since you met me.
Yes, you have. Yes.
Drew, have you known anyone who knows as much as I do?
I never have. It's amazing. Well, you've declared yourself a genius, and you were right.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do?
Yes, because I have great instincts.
No, it's sort of like you channel all the world's info.
Right, and you know why I don't... You know why I don't read books, Drew?
Because it gets in the way of the Tao, the stuff that just flows through you.
Yes, I don't want people and their cockamamie theories getting in the way of what I know is right.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
Same reason I don't look at the globe or maps. All right, so we need to figure out, is this, and Drew, a few years ago, you would have said, come on, the guy's 23, he's done, it's over with. But now...
Well, I do kind of say that.
There is an element of that, but what if he's the 5% where, hey, it's his rhythm?
And then that's the question here.
So, Renee.
Yeah.
You need to figure out whether it's just the guy's rhythm and he's just sort of getting into his pace and he's on a 2 times a month pace, or he's pulling out of the relationship.
Well, when I asked him about it, I said, is there something from your past that makes you unable to...
No, not past. Just his biology. Everybody's sort of biological rhythms are different. Now, yes, your past can affect all that emotionally, but the reality is, particularly for men, their biological rhythm is set by their genetic endowments.
Yes. Hey, Renee, not the size of the penis, by the way.
No.
I think that's what she thought. What's he do for a living?
He works...
he works. Adam, you got that? Adam, hang on a second. Get that down, Adam.
I promised I had a point.
She was going to say something.
Okay,
he works where?
He works at an electrical... it's an electrical warehouse, I guess.
An electrical place where people work.
All right. He works at a place so they sell like electrical parts wholesale or something?
I think so.
All right. So
wait a minute. I imagine
guy.
like some sort of transformer facility or something, like a power plant.
Electrical warehouse is just a place that sells electrical stuff. So, all right, Renee. All right, I think you need to talk to him and figure out what's going on.
Now, Adam, I have a question.
Yes,
an interesting question. Now, do you think that we could sort of derive anything or any conclusions from the kind of job the guy is doing? In other words, do you think the guy, and this is just speculation, the guy that's a 2-time-a-month sex guy is a guy that's going to kind of work in a warehouse and kind of, glide through life, as opposed to the guy whose metronome is going rapidly and he's out driving, working hard?
Well,
you know what I mean? Do those things correlate?
It's an interesting point. I looked at it the other way, but you may have a point looking at it this way. And certainly, Drew, who is a man of boundless passion and a white collar man who doesn't know the meaning of the word knock off at the end of the day. There is no end of the day. It just keeps going into a new day for this man of passion, this driven man of passion.
That's right.
I would have normally said that the blue-collar guys would be the guys who would be a little more, have a little faster sexual metabolism.
Well, they've got what they have. They're a little. Guys. I'll tell you, the blue-collar guys have a little more aggression.
Yeah,
and they're a little charged up with that. But that's a different thing than the metronome.
No, I think you may be right in the sense that it's almost like there's a perception that blue-collar guys are tougher than white-collar guys, but the reality is white-collar guys probably stay in better shape, work out more, and are actually physically stronger oftentimes than blue-collar guys, but the blue-collar guys are more aggressive.
Right.
And maybe it's the same thing sexually. Yes. Like the blue-collar guys are the guys who do the cat calls. The blue-collar guys are the guys that are going to the strip clubs, but the white-collar guys are the driven, A-type personalities who are actually just humping like savages.
Taking care of business.
Oh, well, one could argue that a lot of the reason these guys are making money, driving nice cars and living in nice places, is just in the never-ending pursuit of poontang.
Well, that's not exactly what I was saying.
One could make that argument.
But you could make that argument, but the fact is
many a scholar has made that argument. Many a scholar.
The force of will, the life force within us, affects many areas of our life. You know what I'm saying?
And Drew, there's no real separation between your zest for life and your passion.
That's right.
You're a guy who looks forward, who moves forward. And when you work, that's how you work. And when you eat, that's how you eat. Mm-hmm. And when you love, that's how you love.
Yeah. That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
Because Drew is a man of passion who is what was that creepy word? He's also a sensual man.
Oh.
A man of great sensuality.
Oh.
So you don't do it's sort of like when you take these I don't know, Richard Branson types or something.
Right.
You get the feeling like whatever, if they're starting an airline, they're 110%. If they're flying a dirigible around the world, they're 110%. And if they're banging a chick, they're 110%.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. And a guy who wants to have a bong load, set his life
and work in an electrical warehouse. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's a little bit on autopilot.
Yeah.
But Drew, maybe we're making too much of this because still they're the guys who just like to hump and the guys that don't. And they seem to be able to turn that on and turn that off, sort of regardless of what they're doing or what their income is.
I agree, of course. And so we were just sort of speculating out loud. Let's get back to calls.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
To you and me, it's nobody else listening. So anyway, is this thing on?
Renee doesn't need to talk to. I mean, does need to talk to this guy and find out what the deal is.
What the facts are.
All right.
And by the way, if he's a 2-time-a-monther and she's a twice-a-weeker, he needs to kind of step it up a bit on her behalf.
Which he can.
That's right.
James?
Weird when they don't do that. It's weird.
23? James? James has been on hold for 55 minutes.
Oh, great.
It says he and his dad both have crooked penises.
Good times.
Dad had corrective surgery.
Well, Peyronie's, a sort of, there's a certain percentage of Peyronie's that's not acquired. It's just sort of in you. And I wonder if he's one of those cases.
What do you mean not acquired?
Well, my understanding is there's an acquired Peyronie's, meaning it just sort of happens from repetitive injury or that sort of thing, just repetitive use. And there's others that just sort of spontaneous.
How many joint-related injuries can you have? Any repetitive injuries?
Well, you know, when you're working it a certain way and over vigorously.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought I had guys calling in every night saying, I think I curved my dork, and you telling them it's not.
Yeah, it's not usually that. Now, you have to really, you know.
Well, but hold on, Drew. Most guys who have a bent penis, 99% of them have it just grows out of the ground that way.
Yeah, I mean, it can be some sort of minor repetitive injury, perhaps, that they're not aware of what they were doing. But yes, for the most part, it just goes that way.
Right. So if it just goes that way,
but if it's bad
could
enough
it be genetic?
Well, if it's bad enough to need a surgery and to affect function, that makes me think more genetic.
And Drew, there's a lot of things that just go a certain way that have nothing to do with being passed on genetically, right?
Yes, of course. Like we talked to the girl earlier with the lip asymmetry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she may want to take a look at mom and grandma.
No.
You know, just to play it safe. I would. All right. So if your dad had corrective surgery on his penis and yours is bent as well, why don't you ask your dad for a referral?
Exactly.
Okay. Let's talk to Anna. Anna?
Yes?
You're 16?
Yes.
What's up?
Okay, so I have this one really good guy friend, and I liked him, and I think he liked me too, but we never really, discussed it. But I could always tell that, we hella flirted. Mm-hmm. And we oftentimes cut class together. And it started kind of leading to more and more. And then one time we just went to my house, and we were watching TV, and we got into wrestling because he's on the wrestling team. And then it kind of led up to my room, and we got up into my bed, and we were about to get into having sex, except he couldn't get a hard on.
Ooh. Bad times. What's the question?
So I was wondering now, he got a little bit weird about it, and I can understand that he's embarrassed, and, he's trying to be a tough guy, and then all of a sudden he can't get a hard on. And I just don't know how to approach him now, because I'd rather we just kind of forget the whole situation, go back to being good friends. But I don't know how to talk to him anymore. I don't know what to say. Do I say, hey there, no big whoop, you couldn't get a hard on? Or
no, I don't think that's going to work. But why don't you want to now go further with the relationship?
I do, but okay, what happened was that I asked one of my friends to basically see what was on his mind, and he said that his past relationship, I knew everything about it, and his ex-girlfriend went completely psycho on him. The security guards had to pull her off of him. So he said that he didn't want anything like that to happen between me and him.
Yeah, are you not that kind of person?
Yeah.
No, I'm definitely. I wouldn't he doesn't want to ruin the relationship, the friendship that we have now.
No, stop with that. Oh. Don't believe
but
that.
I think that's just an excuse.
That's an excuse.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's my concern. This is a guy that may need chaotic women in his life, and you may actually be doing him a favor by getting involved with him if you're a sane person and really kind of bringing him along. That's probably why, by the way, he had difficulty being intimate with you. He needs that kind of craziness in order to sort of feel okay about being sexual. I would go back and give it another shot. I would.
How would I ask him about it? Because I would totally.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me thump her melon for a second, Drew.
Yeah.
This guy you've known for how many years?
This would be my 3rd year.
And you've always kind of had a crush on him?
Yes.
Not until my junior year in high school, which is this year.
You knew him for 2 years and had no feelings about him? You didn't even think he was cute?
I thought he was good looking and stuff like that, but he's one of the prettiest boys in our school, so a lot of girls liked him, so I kind of ignored it.
Okay.
That's having a crush.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, it's you denying you have a crush on somebody.
It's so interesting to listen to how women speak even. Did you hear how she described how they got into their sexual encounter? It's like we were watching TV, and then we ended up wrestling, and then something happened that we went to the bedroom, and something happened that we started having sex, opposed to I was into this guy. We were moving it along. It felt good. It's bizarre. And then the whole thing with the crush. I can't admit that I had a crush. And you had a crush on him. It's fine. Relax. It's good.
Okay.
It's fine.
So, and it's what you're supposed to do when you're 16. You're supposed to hang out with
women that they
good-looking guys and have crushes on them.
They cannot claim their own territory. What's actually happened to them has to happen to them rather than happen from them.
Well, I think the perception is that if a woman sort of takes the reins and sits in the driver's seat and says, I'm into this guy and I'm trying to move it along, then she gets the slut label.
That's ridiculous. And that's other women giving her that label, by the way, not men.
If she just gets caught up in his current, then somehow it happened to her.
Right. But again, it's other women that get judged. Adam, it's getting too heavy. Adam.
Corolla.
Okay, I feel better.
Okay. So, Anna, you've had a crush on the guy for a long time. Seemed like he started to notice you. You end up going back to your place. You do a little wrestling. You end up in the bedroom. And what happens? Are your clothes off?
Yeah.
You're naked.
Yeah.
And he's naked too.
Yes.
And are you a virgin or not?
Yes.
You are a virgin.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
16. And you...
Mitzvah. Blessing.
It's a blessing.
Blessing that his penis didn't get hard.
You attempt to arouse him, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said that he got nervous.
All right, here's my recommendation. I have a recommendation. Start dating this guy. Actually go out with him.
If he's
Don't
interested.
worry about the sex. Yeah. Don't worry about the sex. Don't push. If he is not interested, you will also, that'll be obvious. He won't want to sort of reciprocate and date and take you out. But I think you develop a relationship with him. You put the sex part too far ahead of everything else. Try to have a relationship. If you can't, then that's your answer. Don't.
I think she has a feeling like this guy's not really that into her, but he was willing to make an exception for an afternoon, although his penis didn't participate.
A mitzvah, a blessing. If that's where he's at, then good. That you don't want to lose your virginity in that situation.
All right, so Anna, it's good that you kept your virginity that way.
You've got your wits about you with this whole thing. Okay,
Anna, are you good looking?
I hate when you ask these questions. I consider myself good looking, yeah.
You have other guys interested in you?
Yeah.
Well, maybe the sort of big man on campus isn't what you need right now. Maybe you need just a good guy who will treat you right. You know what I'm saying?
Slow it down.
I don't know. I know the guy's humiliated a little bit, but I just don't. He's known her for 2 years, Drew. 2 or 3 years.
It's a little suspicious, but yeah, a little worrisome.
He's not that into her.
He's not declared himself. I agree.
Guys,
it seems like it's suspicious for that anyway.
Right. All right.
Break time.
Break time. Ooh, here's one. Amber.
Yes.
You're 20?
I'm sorry?
You're 20 years old?
Yes, I am.
Your boyfriend's downward curving penis makes it impossible to orgasm?
Yes.
Nice.
Makes it impossible for you to orgasm.
For me. He actually doesn't either, but
Why doesn't he?
Whoa, hold on.
Okay.
Drew, I would have killed myself when I was 11, by the way. And the downward, Drew.
Downward hurts.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Downward curving penis, although it's not a flattering direction to curve as a penis, I think it actually makes it look bigger than the upward curving. What do you think of that?
No.
I do.
Really? Well, you know distance is better than I. But
I do.
To me, it's a sad penis, and
I know it's a sad penis.
Yeah, it's looking down. That automatically takes a little bit of length away from it.
No, I know it's not a jovial penis, but
it's not declaring itself.
I think
it's sad.
I think it physically looks bigger.
Okay.
Because you're looking at the top side, the dorsal side of the joint.
Oh, so you're from the man's eye view.
Oh, I'm just saying in general. I think if you take a popsicle stick and you bend it down a couple of inches and stick it to the front of you, and take one and bend it up a couple of inches, the one that's bending down is actually going to look longer. Like if a car hood bent up, I think the front of the car would look shorter than if it bends down.
All right.
Nice.
You're good about that kind of thing. All right, yeah.
Thanks, buddy. We'll take a little break. We'll get back with Amber and the downward-facing dog with the penis after this.
If you need help,
call LoveLine. 1-800-LOVE-191.
Hey, everybody. It's a little show we like to call LoveLine. My name's Adam. Friends know me as Ace. And that's Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is in New York City. Why is he there, Engineer Chris?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
How come?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
Come again?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
2 more times?
Because somebody dropped a nickel. Because somebody dropped a nickel.
That's right. Engineer Chris. See, that's how it works. 27 takes a couple breaks ago. We were able to cobble that baby together. Sounds clean. Good take, buddy. Sounds good.
Thanks, man.
And again, do you got a reel? Do you got a reel going? You got a tape?
Oh, not yet, but I'll put one together.
Get a little air check going.
Okay.
I'll pass it around, see if I can get you something.
You know people?
I do.
Oh, cool.
I know folks in radio. I know the Grease Man. The Schmeggy Schmeggy.
All right, man.
I know Lycus. Blah. Blah.
You know Howard?
I know Howard. I don't know what he sounds like, though.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, you give me that thing, I'll spread them around.
All right, dude.
All right. What were we talking about? Oh, downward. Downward facing peni.
Down dog.
Amber?
Yes.
Okay. So, boyfriend has a penis that curves downward.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have an orgasm through intercourse.
No.
And neither does he.
No.
All right. So, here's the thing. You would probably not have an orgasm through intercourse anyway.
Well, but the question, though, is does the pain from the curvature require her to have him stop, make him stop so he doesn't have an orgasm either? See what I'm saying?
No. Well, he says he doesn't have an orgasm because he takes a lot of supplements, like a form of, what's it called? Like for weightlifting. I forget what it's called.
Creatine?
Yes, stuff like that. So he says it's really hard for him.
He must be taking steroids.
Yes, that's what it was, steroids. Well, he says he doesn't, but...
Steroids make everything not work. So
he's taking that thing, you probably haven't heard of it because it's not in the news very often. It's that thing that weight people take sometimes to make them things bigger. It's called, what's it called?
Steroids.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Have you heard?
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's taking steroids, you call them, Amber?
Well, I mean, he says that he doesn't, but I don't know. He says he takes supplements, but not steroids. But anyway, so that's supposedly why he can't orgasm. But I don't care about him. I care about me, so...
Yeah, that's very big.
That's a great relationship.
Yeah, you got to have kids.
So your question is why? What is it?
Why can't I?
Why can't? Have you ever had sex with anybody else?
Yes, I have.
And you're able to orgasm with other guys?
Yes.
During intercourse.
Yes.
All right.
Well, that's not it's not a funny question. Most women can't during intercourse, right?
Amber, you must be hot. Yeah.
I don't know. You could say that, maybe.
What do you look like?
I am about 5'5", and I'm a redhead.
So far, we're just pushing. What do you got? I got a little leather down there, but keep going.
Leather.
No, I'm not going to keep going.
You're not?
No, everyone's going to know who I am.
Okay. Hold on a second. All right. Well, that's enough of her. What a pain in the ass.
Well, the
listen,
fact
who
is,
cares? Break up with the musclehead.
All right, here's the deal. She doesn't realize that other women don't orgasm with intercourse just because she's experienced something she assumes the rest of the women do. It's unusual to have orgasm with intercourse, particularly at her age. The fact that she could do it with other men put her way ahead of the curve. The fact that he's got sort of an abnormal curvature may make it uncomfortable for her and obviously mechanically, therefore, difficult to have orgasm. So, there you go. Now it's oral sex with him.
If you ain't having an orgasm as a dude, I mean, even if you're on the juice, you should be able to get one off at 22, shouldn't you?
When they're on lots of it, sometimes they really shut down.
Wow.
Yeah, they really can shut down.
Wow.
Bad times.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's talk to Amanda, who's 16. Amanda?
Hello?
What's happening, baby doll?
Nothing. Oh, you want to hear my problem?
Sure.
Okay. Well, like earlier in the show, someone called and they were talking about how if, like, your dad leaves you or something like that when you're younger, then, I don't know, you, like, grow up and you, like, act differently or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, like, my dad left when I was 6. He just, like, abandoned my family.
Mm-hmm.
And,
it's pretty traumatizing for you, huh?
Oh, it sucks. Like, I don't remember him at all. Like, nothing. It sucks so bad, and I just hate him so bad for it because I think that's so cowardly.
It's so interesting. You hear her voice; she sort of fades in and out like a 6-year-old quality.
Got a little that. All right, listen. Go ahead and hate your parents. By the way, when they do bad things, that's fine.
Yeah.
So now, but
the problem is, now the problem is for the young child is that if they hate the parent, they hate themselves because they start associating. They sort of what they associate with the object, they associate with themselves. So they split internally into a good self and a bad self, and the bad self is that hated part of herself. You have to learn to. Unfortunately, it's okay to hate him. It's not a bad thing to hate him, but you've got to learn to sort of accept more fully the fact that he's a person, weak, with all the foibles of being a human being, and it made him do bad things, and you sort of understand him more completely rather than as a hated, all bad person.
Yeah, well, I've tried to get in touch with him, but he'll, never call me back and stuff like that.
No, I don't mean the real person. I mean just learn to come to terms with...
Don't reach out,
because he's going to be a bad guy. There's no doubt about it. But learn to come to terms with that, people are sort of complex and do crappy things, and don't hate yourself because he's an a-hole.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it kind of goes on more fun. But, I don't know. So ever since then, all the guys that I like, I've noticed they're just like my brothers. It's so weird. They remind me of my brothers, and it kind of weirds me out. I don't know what the hell that is about.
All right.
Well, it makes sense that that's the only male figure you've had in your life, right? And so, that's your sort of comfort zone with men, is what it feels like.
Isn't that weird, though?
No, what's weird to you is that you start evoking feelings about your brother. It's not weird. Whoever you're attracted to is who you're attracted to. They're not your brother. It's weird that feelings about your brother emerge, and you can kind of, put those aside and realize that you're not with your brother. Unless you're going to tell us that something happened between you and your brother.
Oh, no. They've been so great growing up. They're, the best brothers ever.
All right. So then naturally enough, that's a good thing, then, that you're attracted to guys like your brother.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of weird.
No, it's a good thing. Listen, what's weird, humans are weird in general. We sort of respond to these very primitive urges. We think of ourselves as very rational creatures. We want to understand everything. But the reality is we're driven by these very primitive mechanisms.
All right, Amanda.
Adam.
Corolla.
Adam's in the jacuzzi masturbating.
Here's the thing. I think women have this much more so than men do, but that feeling of having to reach out to the person that screwed them over time and time again many years ago, and then the sort of further disappointment when the guy doesn't come through. Women have that reenactment gene.
Yeah, big time. Men do too, but women do.
Everyone has it, but women really have it. Yeah. I sort of, my family was sort of out of it, to say the least. I just wrote them off, and I don't really, I don't talk to them too much. And I do when I have to, but in general, just kind of stay away from them.
You sure do talk about them a lot, though.
I do. I do, because it's good fodder for the radio.
Well, but is that what you talk about it when we're by ourselves talking on the phone?
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you bring that out on the radio? That was nothing short of an attack. How dare you? I'm going to do my double pump. How dare you? I haven't done it in a while. Okay. How dare you? How dare you? See that? See?
It's good.
The double pump.
I felt it.
Yeah. But I think it's more the chick thing that keeps going back and keeps getting hand slapped by the same guy. Forget it. He's a bad guy. He ain't into you, but that doesn't mean because you're bad. It just means he's a bad person. Right. And here's what your job now is. Your job is to have such a great life that you never have to think about the guy again.
There you go.
And eventually, 10 years from now, when you make a ton of money and you're having a great life and you got beautiful kids, he's going to want to come around and reconnect, and you tell him to kiss your hairy black ass.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, let's see. Let's talk to Rachel. Rachel?
Hello?
You're 18?
Yeah.
I've kind of got this problem where it's hard for me to get off unless if I've got some pain while I'm having sex.
Okay, and go ahead. All right. Were you? Did you hear that?
No.
Give it about 30.
Smoke detector?
I think I might have.
Well, she is calling from Bakersfield.
Give it about 30 seconds there. But in any event...
Bakersfield, by the way, has a program that if you have a smoke detector that's not chirping because there's a low battery in it, they will actually, the city will provide you with one.
Oh, nice. That's nice. I don't hear it. But did you have any sort of physical mishandling when you were growing up?
When what?
Did anybody strike you when you were growing up?
Well, I mean, yeah, I've had my share, but, you know...
Well, that's where that comes from.
Sure, she's calling from Bakersfield.
Of course, she's had her share of beatings. But the fact is that when you have that happen growing up, think of it as sort of burning out your arousal centers. It shatters your ability to sort of regulate those systems when you're growing up, and that makes you need to experience higher levels of arousal in order to feel aroused. Make sense?
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
Well, Rachel, let's focus on a more purposeful conversation. Do you have any kids?
No.
Okay. Do you have a boyfriend?
Not at the moment.
All right. What are you doing at the moment?
I'm in my room smoking a cigarette.
Oh, okay. And then when you said not at the moment, and I said at the moment, I sort of meant like, you know, just in general, what's going on? You going to school? You working?
Both. I go to school and I work, and
Junior college, Rachel?
I don't know.
High school?
You can say that I don't really. Let's see. Can't.
What country are you from, Rachel?
It's hard to explain. It's like.
All right.
Hard to explain what country she's from.
What continent is it? Rachel, what do you go to high school?
Yeah.
You do go to high school?
Yeah, I'm on my last year.
On your last year. Is it regular high school, or is it the little one in the corner with the ashtrays?
No, I go to regular high school.
Regular high school. All right, so you're 18, so you'll be graduating soon.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to graduate?
Yeah.
Okay, so you graduate in just a few weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then what?
Just, planning to go to college.
Junior college?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Don't waste your time, Rachel. Don't waste everyone's time. Don't bother with junior college. How about you get a job, you get some money, you get some things. You know what I'm saying?
I've lost track of this conversation.
I have too. Rachel, don't go to junior college.
Okay.
Adam.
Corolla.
Adam.
By the way, these are your peers, Engineer Chris. This is the folks you get to rub elbows with.
Cool.
It's ends up being a tard on tard F fest over there.
Okay.
Thank you, Rachel. Here's the plan. Don't get pregnant. Okay. All right. I'm going to answer for you.
Rachel, by the way, sounds very depressed. Whatever.
Rachel, are you very depressed?
Yes. Too depressed. Ooh, nice.
She hung up. Too depressed to even answer.
Yeah.
Junior college, everybody.
I actually lost track of what she was calling about.
She likes to get beat on when she has sex, because I guess her family beat on her a little bit.
They beat on her, so there we went and explained that. And then I heard a lot of other things I couldn't track, but she sounded profoundly depressed, and she might want to look into that.
And angry, too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Because
you've been beaten on. That guy that called earlier that asked about being physically abused in childhood, isn't that okay? Well, this is how you end up. You're angry at everybody because everyone's coming at you with a whip as far as you're concerned.
Well, here's how I can always tell people are pissed off. It's the 3 Mississippi rule.
Yeah.
Where you go like
question.
Yeah. What are you doing right now? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Working.
Yeah.
And where do you work? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. The store.
The other thing that abuse does to people is it makes them grandiose. It makes them responsible for the world, responsible for all the bad things that happen to them. A recovering guy once, I heard him say in public, he said, I feel like crap. I'm not much, but I'm all I ever think about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens with abuse.
Yeah. All right. So, boys are going to be a long life for Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
High school, smoking in a room, heading for junior college.
right, here we go. Taking a break. Come on.
All right.
Let's break it down here.
I would just love to. It's
downer night. It's just downer night.
No, it's not downer night. Only Rachel's been a full blown
Adam, that's at least we have that way to break through.
No, I'm saying, Rachel, please do something.
Yes.
Please do something. Put down the cigarettes and start exercising, or get some
Find something
therapy,
that makes you
or talk
feel
to
like
a counselor.
you're doing something worthwhile.
Get a job. Donate your time at the animal shelter. Do something that makes you feel good, that gives you worth.
Here we go.
And junior college, you ain't going to find it there. All you're going to find is more depressed, horrible student stoners wasting their lives away and complaining about the man. Really, here's the thing. The only people they should let into junior college are the people who don't want to go to junior college.
People go to university.
The people who actually want to go to junior college shouldn't be allowed in. Those are just horrible high school students who are looking for a 13th grade and not to have their stepmom on their back.
Nice.
All right. Please, Drew. Please, let's end this junior college, and let's get Adam Carolla to replace Marco Polo in the swimming pool. Take a quick break. Engineer Chris, by the way, still not sure if he's graduating in 2.5 weeks. He's got to look into it. We'll take ourselves a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
LoveLine. We'll be right back.
Please hold.
LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Call LoveLine at 1-800-LOVE-191.
LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. He's in New York City tonight. Why, Engineer Chris?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
All right. We haven't listened as clean as I would have liked.
No. Scary.
Why, Engineer Chris?
Because somebody dropped a nickel.
That's what I thought. All right. You ready to rock here, Drew?
Here we go.
Gary's nipples get sore and swollen when he works out, sometimes even lactate. Why?
Yeah.
He cries. Gary?
Yeah.
Lactating, really?
Yeah. I don't know if that's what it is, but
stuff comes out.
Stuff comes out, yeah.
Yeah. Are you on any medication?
No, nothing.
No,
I was taking some like supplements when I was working out, like creatine and stuff, but it was nothing, no like medication or nothing.
Do you smoke a lot of pot?
I used to a lot.
A lot. When did you stop?
A year ago.
So I suppose it's possibly still related to that, but not typically. I would suggest you do bring it up with a doctor for two reasons. In young men your age, there can be something called a prolactinoma, or a prolactin-secreting tumor of the pituitary gland that happens once in a while. Also, thyroid problems can cause this, and then nothing. It could be just nothing, but yes.
I see.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay, so go to the doctor, because this could be, guys aren't supposed to be lactating, and it could be something more important.
Right. There you go.
Christina here is 16. She called 2 years ago.
Ooh.
Hi.
Her mom heard the call and sent her to boarding school.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Why did you call 2 years ago?
I had sex and unprotected, and I was wondering the chances of pregnancy. And
your mom heard.
Who would have known my mom was listening and came into my room actually while I was in the middle of the call.
Wow.
And she heard everything. So about a month later, she found out I was doing drugs, and I got sent to Las Encinas, which I know that's where Dr. Drew works. And I was there for about 2 weeks and got sent to boarding school for 19 months, all girls.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a rough 2 years. So.
How was the all-girl boarding school?
Oh, gosh. It was crazy. It was just like one big house with 58 girls living in it. We all just, oh, man.
Yeah. And so are you better now?
Oh, God, yeah. My life is amazing. Like, I'm completely sober. My mom and I get along. I've been home for about a month now, and things have just been going amazing. So.
Right. That's an amazing, it's an interesting, it's a great story.
Maybe it's good. It's good that your mom heard the phone call.
Absolutely. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a blessing in disguise. At first, I was, I ran away for the night after she had heard it, and it was just terrible, and I was doing so much drugs, and there was a lot more than just sex, so.
Right.
Now
Okay,
Drew's
so
going
there's
to
nothing
screen his kids for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Are you
He was
kidding?
thinking about it before, but now it's game on.
I just want you to know, you guys both are so amazing. Like, you guys are great.
Thanks, Christina.
Okay, so when I got sent away 2 years ago, I was like really ugly and pretty fat, and I just was not like very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
And I go away, and I lost a lot of weight, and I just changed a lot. And like, I don't want to sound like conceited, but I feel like freaking everyone wants to only be my friend for the way I look.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so lonely, and I hate it. Like, I feel like I have almost no friends that care about.
Wait a minute. Wait a second. Girls want to be friends with you because of the way you look?
A lot of them too. Well, they think because I was in an all-girls boarding school that I'm floating both boats these days. But
oh my,
are you extraordinarily beautiful, or are you just not fat anymore?
I don't think I'm that great looking, but I guess people compared to the way I used to look, that they.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying. Why? Because people want to be your friend, you have to look at it as, they only want to be my friend because I've lost 25 pounds.
I get like. People call me and they're like, dude, you look so fun. I want to go away.
Hey, are we listening there in Westwood 1? All right.
I don't know. That's what happens. Girls are like, dude, you look so effing hot. I'd like to be your friend.
Not sure that's the case.
I'm not sure that's the case either. I don't really, okay. Anyway, here's the thing, Christina. Mazel tov. You've licked drugs. She's 16. She's been sober for 4 weeks now, Drew. God bless her. She's moved back home. She's getting along with her mom. Let me say this to everybody. Stop being so goddamn conceited. If somebody wants to be your friend, maybe they want to be your friend. The world does not revolve around you. Everyone doesn't think about you all the time. And you don't have to sort of have a motivation or assign a motivation to everyone who wants something from you or wants to hang out with you. It's a horrible way to go through life. That part where you go, oh yeah, they complimented you, but you know what they really meant.
Right.
Or they only want this because of that. Or, they only want to hang out with you because you're on the football team or you're the cheerleader. Well, who cares? Here's the whole thing, everyone. Try to build yourself a life that's attractive. Make yourself a store and make the storefront, get a nice sign and put some nice crap in the mirror. In the window, in the store window. And then people will come in. And then you don't have to go, they're only coming in because you got a nice sign.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's how it goes. Look your best, act your best, do your best, be interesting, be clever, be smart, be whatever, be athletic, be whatever, and people will be attracted to you. And then you shouldn't blame them for that.
Right.
Okay. Let's take a little break. Drew, how's your storefront doing, buddy?
I need to work on it a little bit, I think.
Okay. We'll be right back after this.
All right, guys, here's the deal. Looking to hook up? Call the Dateline. Sick of wasting time with the wrong person? Call the Dateline. One call's all you need to make. Call the Dateline.
1-877-889-DATE.
If you need help,
call LoveLine. 1-800-LOVE-191.
LoveLine. LoveLine. With Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. 1105 Alternative. San Francisco.
Well, that's it, everybody. God
Amazing.
Bless. God bless.
Okay.
Adam.
Carolla.
Yeah.
Adam.
Carolla.
Yes, I feel much better.
All right, Drewski. We'll talk to you tomorrow night, and we'll talk to yous tomorrow night as well. Until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying, mahalo.
This has been LoveLine. LoveLine. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the staff, management, sponsors, or the station. The producer for LoveLine is Ann Ingold. LoveLine is a presentation of Westwood One Entertainment.